Nearly 2 years now after a devastating tornado hit Nashville, a cafe in one of the neighborhoods hardest hit will finally reopen its doors. News 4's Tosin Fakile live outside the Germantown Cafe. So many people love this restaurant. Tosin, we all want to know, when will it be back?
You're right, Tracy. So many people love it. And management here say they plan to welcome guests back in November, but it'll be in stages. I'll explain that in a little bit. But this Germantown favorite has been closed for about 2 years. Now, the double blow to this restaurant started with the March tornadoes in 2020, which took out the roof at the restaurant that has been around for 20 years. Management said the tornado caused issues with insurance and with updating buildings, and then COVID happened. But the restaurant is now looking good now, getting closer to being completed. Sean Lyons says some products and equipment have arrived, but they're still dealing with logistics of products and equipment coming in. And he says customers should expect the same old feel of the restaurant with some new additions.
Yeah, so the first thing that we have is new is we're doing a window service. Inside the dining room itself, we're incorporating a lot of technology. So people can pick their own adventure when they dine. They can do everything on mobile. They can just do a couple things like ordering a drink here and there, or they can have the traditional service where you don't touch your phone at all.
Well, Lyons says they are excited to be open. Actually, Tracy, while we were there, we saw people tugging on the door trying to make their way into the restaurant. Their final inspection for the building is expected next week. That's what Lyons says. And like I said earlier, they're hoping to open in November. So because they're waiting for some products, Tracy, the plan is to open the bar area first, then do some kind of seating in the area with certain areas, and then finally open for everybody. Back to you.
Tosin, I have tugged on that door a couple of times myself, waiting for this. Thank you, Tosin. All of our coverage from the deadly tornadoes in March of 2020 lives on WSMV.com. There you will find footage from Drone 4 that shows the devastating path of that storm. Okay, as far as the weather, we're expecting a warm up this weekend. Meteorologist Dan Thomas with our certified most accurate forecast. Dan, we're talking back in the 80s?
Back in the 80s, Tracy. So a big difference from today. Today has been the coolest day we've seen in Nashville in more than 5 months. Thanks in part to all the clouds you see. This is up in Clarksville, and there the clouds are starting to break, but downtown Nashville right now is still socked in, and it's cool at 62. Light northwest wind around 5. All right, northern Davidson County up toward Madison, we have 61. It's 60 now in Jolton and Antioch. And then once you make your way into Sumner County, closer to Kentucky, it is even cooler. Right now, Westmoreland has 57 degrees. 53 is the current reading in Cookeville, 50 in Crossville. But where we've had some sunshine out toward the Tennessee River, it is a lot milder. And some of this clearing builds into the mid-state tonight, but many of us will stay cloudy through the overnight, especially toward the Cumberland Plateau. If you want to walk the dog this evening, this is Maple the dog, who just celebrated her first birthday in East Nashville. Enjoying a treat and a little birthday crown there. The weather will be very cool, so don't leave the house without bundling up or taking a jacket. 58 at 7 o'clock, and notice at 9 o'clock we've got 54 degrees, back into the 40s tomorrow morning. So again, once we get into the weekend, temperatures will rise, but we could also see a shower at times and then some thunderstorms as we wrap up the weekend. We'll talk about all that in your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Tracy?
All right, Dan, thank you. A heads up here, folks impacted by the August floods have 3 more days to apply to FEMA. This is for homeowners and renters in Dixon, Hickman, Houston, and Humphreys counties. So far, FEMA has provided more than $6.4 million to more than 3,000 people in these counties. Yesterday marked 2 months since the deadly flooding in Waverly. 20 people were killed in all of that. A congressman in our state is warning that we could lose TVA employees to President Biden's vaccine mandate. Yesterday, Representative Scott Desjardins sent this letter to President Biden. He claims that some TVA workers want to resign or retire because they don't want to get the vaccine. He says TVA workers are highly skilled and trained. They cannot be replaced quickly. Desjardins is requesting a positive antibody test or frequent testing for workers. News 4 was the first to tell you about Percy Master P. Miller coming to Nashville to speak with startups and business owners. And today, he was here giving advice and encouragement to dozens of entrepreneurs. News 4's Carice Jackman attended the event and spoke one-on-one with Master P about what it means to be here in Music City.
Here at the National Museum of African American Music, Percy Master P. Miller decided to sit down and talk to many entrepreneurs and startups about what it means to be successful and how to get there. He sat down for about an hour and a half and spoke with many people about, one, his upbringing, how he was able to become an entrepreneur, a rapper first, entrepreneur, and then a successful investor. Many people asked him questions, one, inspired by him, but also encouraged by him to succeed. Take a listen to what he had to say about what it means to be here in the state of Tennessee.
To be in Nashville, this is growing when you talk about entrepreneurs. This is times that we coming together with unity, educating the culture and the people. And I just see so many great entrepreneurs here to connect with them. It's been beautiful.
And we asked Master P again, what would you say to people to make sure that they concede even if they fail? And he said, don't be afraid to fail. Even if you do, pick yourself back up and try again. I'm Carice Jackman, News 4 Nashville.